Middleweight champion standing there, Marvin Hagler, about to make his 4th defense of his title. He made 3 defenses in 1981 against Fulgencio Obel Majias, knocked him out in 8 rounds in June. He defeated Vito Antifermo in their rematch, knocked him out in 5. Mustafa Hamsho was knocked out in 11 in October of last year. And now the principals are about to be introduced for this afternoon's feature bout. Caveman Lee standing over the other way. You see, when you look at the sheet on this young man, his history, it's just one KO after another. But as I suggested to you, his opponents have not been of particular marquee rating. But he has taken on some tough people, in particular John Locicero of Detroit last year. But here's the introduction of Caveman Lee. It was the win over Marcos Geraldo that jumped Lee up into the world rankings. And now here is the introduction of the champion, and it should get quite a roar from the crowd gathered here in this room. Some 2,000 of them.
53 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, with 44 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, from Boston, Mass, the undisputed middleweight champion,
At the peak of his career right now, and hopeful that everything can be worked out. Here are the instructions from the referee, Larry Hazard. As the tail of the tape shows here, Hagler gives away an inch in reach. He gives away a pound and a half in weight. He gets 2 inches in reach, giving away 1 in height. The age is 29 for Hagler and 25 for Lee.
Do you have any questions?
So that formality is concluded. The judges are Paul Cavalieri, Joe Cortez, and Joe Santerpia. The referee Hazard, and remember, Larry Hazard does not have a ballot. The judges will do all the balloting. And we're ready to go. The World Middleweight Championship on the line. Marvin Hagler defending against Caveman Lee, a consolidation of the rules between the WBA and the WBC. The champion is a left-hander. Lee can go both ways. And the indication to us from the Lee camp was that he would try to come strong and try at the very beginning to upset the tempo of the champion. And he just scored with a good left hook to the side of the head of Marvin Hagler here in the early going. Stiff right hand by Hagler. Hard left hand. Lee goes down. Face down on the canvas. It was a left and a right and a left. And Lee's in trouble. Hazard takes a look at him. Lee says he's all right. He doesn't look it. He's wobbly. He's in trouble. A right hand, a left hook to the side of the head. And he is in serious trouble. A left hook to the jaw. Lee can barely stand. Another right hand by Hagler. Back into the ropes he goes. Hagler pounding Caveman Lee here in the opening round. Hagler said he didn't want it to go very long, and it's not going to go very long. It is over. Lee sags against the ropes. He's out of it. Marvin Hagler has knocked him out with 1:53 to go in the first round. And a crowd of people come storming into the ring. It took 1 minute and 7 seconds for Marvin Hagler to knock out Caveman Lee, and he has lifted onto the shoulders of the Petronelli brothers, Goody and Pat. A devastating performance by a man who has been particularly effective since he got his first title opportunity. And since that time, he has just been a dynamite performer. After the draw with Antifermo, he came back to destroy Minter before the hostile crowd in London. And today, it was all Hagler. There was a left hook thrown by Caveman Lee that caught the champion on the side of the head in the first 15 seconds. And then the champion laced him with a hard right hand. Then he lunged across the ring, and he ripped him with a right and another left. And from that point on, Lee was never to shake it. He went down on his face, got up, but it was obvious that he was terribly unsteady. Larry Hazard let it go. Another angle of the first knockdown. You can see the lunge across the ring by the champion Hagler, and that left hook ripped to the chin, and for all intents and purposes, the fight was over right there. You see the hard right hand, and this is the finish right here. Here's the end of the fight coming up, because at this juncture, Lee did not really know where he was. Hagler had him stunned from the first knockdown, and at this point, it was a matter of when he was going to go, and under the fusillade of punches delivered by Marvin Hagler, Lee sags down against the ropes, and the referee, Larry Hazard, will step in to stop it before the man is injured. You can see that the will to fight in Caveman Lee's case is gone right here. He is looking for some place to hide, literally to regain his senses, but there is no place to go as Hagler pursued him across the ring and just continued to pummel him until finally he was down and the fight was stopped at 1:06 of the opening round.
The World Boxing Association presented to him by...
So it was a moment of despair, I'm sure, as you look at Caveman Lee as Hagler keeps his championship.
Being presented also by...
The champion now is trying to make his way through the crowd of well-wishers and come down and join us here at ringside. He scarcely got warmed up. 1:06 of the first round, a devastating knockout of William Caveman Lee here in Atlantic City, and so he continues to look on toward the future, a future that is supposed to include Thomas Hearns and perhaps Benitez, and even more dramatically, perhaps Sugar Ray Leonard. That is the fight that I think much of the world would like to see happen. But there are some arrangements to be made with that one before it can be finalized. Mike Traynor has said that he will make no commitment until he is assured sufficient amounts of money have been committed to it. But it was truly a just destructive performance by Marvin Hagler. So here comes the champ over here to sit down and have a visit. Hi, champion, how are you? We have seen Marvin Hagler in many instances destroy people, but my goodness, this was a show and a half.
And destroy. I told him at the press conference, I'm mean and lean. I'm looking forward to Tommy Hearns as my next opponent, and then hopefully from there, maybe the Sugar Man to come out. That's what I'm looking for. Right now, I want to give him an official challenge after I finish with Hearns. I'm hoping that maybe even if it's a non-title fight, some way if WBC and WBA approve of it, and he can name his own price.
Marvin, you had said earlier that you thought Manny Stewart and Thomas Hearns might be doing a little scouting today. You didn't want to give him too much.
I didn't want to give him nothing. You know it. And they were scouting. You know, I didn't believe too much about that Mickey Goodwin thing, but this was a better opponent for me to get ready for Hearns, a very serious contender, and I felt very good. First of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me the courage and the strength, and also to my new baby daughter.
Yeah, how about that?
Monique.
Oh, that's terrific.
For you,
we had a picture of her and had a chance to see her. She's beautiful. Let's take a look at the first knockdown. Give you a chance to see it, Marvin.
I was very sharp. I felt very good. I trained very hard down the Provincetown end. I had a lot of potent punch on that. And once I had him hurt, I wasn't going to let him back off the hook.
He seemed to sting you a little bit, though, in the first 15 seconds.
Well, I like that. I wanted him to come to fight. I expected that. I had three top sparring partners down there with me that got me in the type of shape that I'm in and the quickness. And that was down in my Provincetown training camp.
Here's the finish of it now. We'll have a chance to see the fight stopped as a result of literally punishing the man.
I was glad that they stopped it right there because there was no way I was going to stop him. This man's in there to take something away from me. I was glad that I opened up very good here at the Atlantic City here because I've never been here before, and I just couldn't leave it to the judges.
Marvin, I know, and of course, we've been friends a long time. You waited a long time for your chance. You waited 50 fights to get a chance to fight for the title, and I know you are proud, and you're going to be a tough guy to take it away from.
I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. And I got a lot of work to do, and I'm hoping that I can fight all the champions out there to show them where I belong in the standards of the world, and then hopefully from there, maybe to retire or whatever. But I want to fight Benitez and the Durans and the Leonards and the Hearns just to show that my true ability, that I am a true champion.
Marvin Hagler, congratulations and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Hello, baby. All right, coming home.
Marvin Hagler retains his middleweight championship of the world, knocking out Caveman Lee 1:06 first round here in Atlantic City. Keith Jackson, now let's return to Frank.